told you about the function, because function is a very vast topic. So I took 2 lectures on function, and in yesterday class I repeated that also. Okay. So today in function we will see how we pass a string, list, tuples, and tuples and dictionaries. Okay. Passing a string to a function. See, how will you pass a string to a function? Yeah, if you pass, only 2 students are here. Yeah. See, def stress pass s. Wait for 1 minute. I will talk you later on. Okay. Yes, see how we will pass a string to a function. Here you see def keyword. Def keyword is used to show that we are defining a function, and str passes the name of the function. S is a parameter which you are passing to a function. So here we will take a one for loop for I in S. So the I is your variable, and in S till the string it will find out. Print I. It will print the value of I. String. The string you are taking is Python class 11. Fine. Now string pass. The function is you are calling the function string pass, and now it's string. You are passing string to a function. So what is the string here? Python class 12. It will print the whole string class 12 because our loop is till the end of the string s. Fine. Here you are taking, as in yesterday class also I told you that if if you want to change the name of the argument, you can change it later on when you call the function. Next is passing list to a function. How you will passing list to a function? See one more example over here. Def. Def is a keyword. Then list, pass, L. Okay. Now for loop again till the end of list. Print L. Print I. It will print I times till the end of the list. Here again you are defining list. This one is your list, and in list you are passing physics, CS, chemistry, English, and maths. Fine. Then list pass, and you are passing again list to the function. You are calling here function with an argument list, and in list you have the name of the subject. It will now print all the name of the subject. Same process you have to do for tuples and dictionary. I hope you all of you know about the difference. What's the difference between list and tuple and dictionary? Anyone will tell you? I already told you in last class. Yeah. What's the difference between list and tuple? Tanu, what's the answer? Mahi, Anshita. No one knows. Okay. Now next. See, there are some programs related to a function. One is write a program to sum the sequence of given number. This is the sequence of given number. Now, how will you make a program for this? Def fact x. Okay, you are defining, because here is a factorial, so you have to find out the factorial of a number. Fact x, you are passing one argument over here, x j is equals to 1. res, you are taking here two variables, one is j and another one is res. So while j is less than and equals to x, the loop will go till the time. The process will go till the time j is less than and equals to x. Now return, it will return res. From this line, you are taking the input of from the user. I is equals to 1, sum is equals to 1, while again you are taking one loop, okay. Then f is equals to fact I, sum is equals to sum plus 1 upon f, because here you have sum plus 1 upon f. The factorial you have to find out over here. Now increment the value of I, print sum. Fine. I hope everyone is getting how this program will go. Next is write a program to compute GCD and LCM. So write down in your notebook, write a program to compute GCD and LCM of two numbers. Okay? And do it yourself. Now it's very important, recursion. Recursion come under the function. What is recursion? Recursion is a function that call itself. When function want to call itself, then we use recursion. Okay, a function call itself is called recursion. Python programs to find a factorial number. In factorial, you are seeing that if we have to find factorial of 3, what it did? First, 3 into factorial of 2. Okay, factorial of 2. So it's calling, the function factorial will call itself. That's why here the concept of recursion will come. See here, def factorial, you are taking any number n. Okay, if n is equals to 1, it will simply return the value of n. It will return 1 because factorial of 1 is always 1. Else, return n into again factorial of n minus. Suppose your number is 3, it will return 3 into factorial of n minus 1 is 2. So factorial of 2 it will return you. Now you will take input from the user. If num is less than 0, then sorry, factorial does not exist for negative number. Else if number is equals to 0, factorial is 0, okay, of 0 is always 1. Else it will print the factorial of number. Fine. Here you can see, enter the number 5. The factorial of 5 is 20. The factorial of 5 is 120. Fine. Next program, Python. Write a program to print Fibonacci series using recursion. So, yes, write down this and write a program for this. See the concept, def, sum, natural, this is, okay, wait, yeah. For Fibonacci series, we have to define one function. If number is less than 1, again return 1. Here, put the concept what we will do in Fibonacci series. What happened in Fibonacci series? It's Fibonacci n minus 1, then n minus 2. Okay. Then print, take an input from user, apply for loop and print Fibonacci I. So it will print 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. Okay, how many terms you want to display? 8 terms. Next is sum of n natural number using recursion. Fine. If anyone of you having any doubt in recursion, you can ask. No doubt, everything is clear. Very good. Now we will see binary search using recursion. How will you find out the binary search using recursion? In data structure, you must heard about the binary search. What is binary search? Okay, you have to find out a number. If in a given list you have to find out a number, then you have to apply binary search. In data structure, you have two type of search. One is binary search and linear search. Here we have to find out a number using binary search using recursion. Okay, so this array is given over here, and numbers in this, these are the numbers which are entered in array, and A0, A1, these are the index of an array. So this is A0, A1, like this. You have to find out the index. Now, the concept will go first, mid, and last. In binary search, you take first, mid, and last. Fine. So here 22. Your target is 22. So you have to compare from 22. Fine. We will start from A5 because it's A5 and A6 are the mid of this. Okay. 21. We will start from 21. 22 is what? Greater than 21. So it will go move to next, and it will do like this. When it finds 22, when it finds 22, it will stop. The function will terminate. So here first midterm will change again. Now see in the program, binary search. One is sequence. Another one is for item. LB is your lower bound. UB is your upper bound. If lower bound is greater than upper bound, then return -5. It will return a negative value. Here you have to find mid value. So how you will find mid value? Lower bound plus upper bound divided by 2. And remember, you have to take integer of mid. Okay. Here, what are your lower bound? Find out lower bound and upper bound, then divided. Lower bound is your 0 and upper bound is your 11. So 11 plus 0 is 11 divided by 2. Okay. If item is equals to sequence mid, return mid. If we find in first attempt we find our number, then we will return mid if it's in mid. Else if number is not there, what you will do? Item is less than, it will go in the less than sequence. Okay, so upper bound minus mid one. Every time you have to minus from mid. Return binary search. Sequence, item, lower bound and upper bound. If you find the number, you will return the same thing. Now, else lower bound is equals to mid plus 1. Return binary search, sequence, item, lower bound till the time you not. So 3 conditions are here. First, you have to take mid. If mid is a number, stop there, return the value. If mid is not there, then upper bound, mid minus 1. Okay. If that is there also you not find the number, then lower bound is equals to mid plus 1. Fine, and write down the number. Enter the element in sorted order. Now, you will find the number. If you find the number, print find found at index, write down the index on which you find the number. Else, element does not present in the list. Okay, so today we have finished up with function. Now we will start next topic, that is file handling, and it's a topic of unit 1 itself. Okay, first, what is file? A file is a collection of related data stored in a particular area on a disk. Again, I am repeating, a file is a collection of related data stored in a particular area on a disk. As you know, when we deal with a computer or a laptop, what we do? The same kind of files we store in a folder. So files are stored in a folder. Stream. What is a stream? It refers to a sequence of bytes It refers to a sequence of bytes. Why we need file handling? File handling is important part of any web application, because on web you have to deal with lot of file. So to store the data, as I told you, to store a data in secondary storage, you need a file. To access the data fast, you need a file. To perform create, read, update, delete operation, these can be easily done by the file handling. Okay, so there are four more important for the web application: to store the data, to access the data, or any creation, read, updation, deletion you can do with the file handling. Now come, what is data files? Data files can be stored in two ways. One is your text file. Text file, everyone knows what are the text file. They are the structure as a sequence of lines where each line include a sequence of character. Okay, your notepad, you are writing text file in notepad, wordpad, fine. Now come to binary files. A binary file is any type of file that is not text file. Fine. And it is stored in which format? Is stored the information is held in memory. Okay, so here you can find out the difference between what are text file and the binary file. Store information in ASCII character. What are ASCII character? You might be studied in Boolean algebra chapter that what are ASCII character. These are the A, B, C, D. Okay, these are your ASCII character. And binary files is stored in same format which the information is held in memory. Each line of text file, each line of text is terminated with a special character known as end of line. Okay, but in binary files no delimiter are used for a line. In text file some internal translation take place. Some internal translation take place when this EOL character is read or written. But in binary file, no translation occurs. These text files are slower than the binary files. And binary files are faster and easier for a program to read and write the text file. So they are faster. So everyone know the difference what the text file and the binary files. Okay. Next is your opening and closing a file. Okay, how you will open a file? To work with file, first of all you have to open the file. You have to open the file. To open a file in Python, we use open function. You have to use open function. Okay, to open function takes two parameters. First is your file name, what file you have to open, and the mode. Fine. Open function returns a file object. See the syntax how you will open a file. It's just a file object name. Okay, any name you can give it. You can give open. It's a keyword. It's mandatory. Then the file name, whatever file name you want to open, and the mode. It's a read writable, or it's only contain a read property, write property, whatever. Okay. See here one example. You have to open a file for reading. It is enough. You have to remember you have to open for reading only. Okay, it is enough to specify the name of the file. If you have to open for reading only, then write and take any variable here, open book, the name of the file. The code above is same as this because it's a read. You have to open it for a read mode. So R is written over here. This RT you are seeing. See, it's visible to you, RT. Okay, R for read mode, T is for text. It shows that it's a text file and we are opening for a read mode. Okay, how you will close? You know the meaning of closing a file. Okay, you have to close a file. So here is a close function is used to close a file. How you will? Same file object name dot close. Okay, see here are the file modes. Now If it's text file mode, you have to write RW. R is for read, W is for write, A for append. R plus is read and write file must exist, otherwise error will be raised. R plus means read write. Okay, these are the mode for text file. The same we will see for binary file. What are the file mode for binary? RB. Don't write on a screen. Yeah, RB, WB, AB and RB plus. RB is your for read, WB is for write. B is written over here basically to represent binary file. Okay. Yeah. W plus is read and write file is created if does not exist. Here when you see R plus is read and write file must exist. Okay, otherwise it will raise an error. But here you see the difference, it does not exist. That one is exist, here it does not exist. A plus is read and write append new data. Okay, is used to append new data. And X is creates the specified file, return an array if a file exists. In addition, you can specify if the file should be handled as a binary or a text mode. T is used for text default value, that is for text mode. B is used for binary mode. Okay, how now? Working with text file, how you will work with a text file? Some basic operation with the file. What you can do with the file? You can read the file, and if you want to write something in the file, you can write with the file. Append, you can append the data into a file, and you can delete data from file. Okay, so read the data from a file. There are three type of function to read data from a file. First is read, only read. What read will do? Read will read the n bytes, number of bytes. If number n is specified, it will read the entire file. If no n is specified, it will read entire file. And if you specify n bytes, it read that much bytes only of a file. Okay, read line. This is used to read a line. If n is specified, it will read n bytes. Okay, see, if you not specify, it will read the whole line, otherwise it will read the line of n bytes. Read lines. The difference between second and third is, second one is only for one line and third one is for multiple lines. How you will read? A step to read a file. See the flow, how will you? First you create a file, then you open a file. Okay, when you get, if you take an example simple of your book, you have to take your book, that is create, then you open your book and read or write data on that, whatever function you want to. If you want to read a book, you will read. If you want to write something, you can write. Okay, print and access the data. Fine, then you will close the file. See, here we are taking one example. Let a text file, book text. The name of the file is, remember, book.text, has the following text. The what text is written in book.text. Python is an interactive language. It is a case sensitive language. It makes the difference between uppercase and lowercase letters. It is official language of Google. Fine. Program using read function. How you will see? Take any file object name, that is fin. Open the file. Give the full path of the file. Then mention what R. R is for read file. Take a one string and fin.read. What it will do? It will read the file. Okay. Which file? Book.text file. Print str. Then it will print. It's saying whatever string is in the file, print these strings. So output, in output it's written over here. Then close the file. Okay. Now see, here the second example, it simply the first line is opening the file. The difference is over here. String is equals to fin dot read 10. It's saying only 10 string you have to read, okay, till 10. Number of bytes, n is specified, so byte, number of byte it will read. Python is still here. Count 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, so it will read till 10. Fine. Yeah. Now in example 2, using read line function. Now we are using read line function. So in read line function, what? First open a file, then instead of writing read, simply read line. Simply write down read line, because you have to read only a single line. Print string and fin dot close. Python is interactive. It will read only first line. Okay, so first line is written over here, and it's on you. If you want to print what you are reading, just print over here. Now the third example. In third example, what? And you can also specify n number. If you specify, it will read only that much bytes of your data. Next is using read line function. Fin open a file, then read lines. It's saying read lines. Fine. So it will read all the lines of the text file. Now some important program related to read data from the text file, and these really very important because already came in the CBSE question paper of class 12. So program, count the number of a character from a file. Now it's saying that count how many characters are written over in the file. First you open a file simply, then apply read function, because till the time you will not read, how you will count. Okay, now L is equals to string dot split. Here you are applying a split function so that it will split the characters and you will get the number of counts. Here we are taking count char equals to 0 for I in L. Okay, L is here. L contain string dot split, and split is a inbuilt function that is presented in string function. Okay, count char equals to count char plus length I. Length I shows the length of the string. Now print count char fin dot close. It will now print the all characters of your file. Okay. The second program, count the number of words in a file. Fin is equals to open book dot text r. String fin dot read. L is equals to str dot split. The same you are doing here. Okay, in the last program you are counting the character, but here you will count the words. You have to count the words. So we will take count words, not character. Again the loop will go till the end of the your string. Okay, count words equals to count word plus 1. Yeah, then it will count the words and fin dot close. Okay, count number of lines in a text file. Fin is equals to open book dot text r. String fin dot read lines. Here you have to count the number of lines in a text. In first program we count the number of characters, then your words. Now we are counting the lines. Okay, the same you have to do, only change is that you will count the line. Now next program says count the number of vowels. How many vowels are present in your file? Open the file, read the file. then count, take a for loop, and
Ma'am, your voice is not clear.
okay, now it's clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. For in I in string vowels, you have to tell the program that what are vowels. You know A, E, I, O, U. So here we are writing these are the vowels and you have to find these and count these vowels. Whenever you get A, E, I, O, U, you will get and count the number of vowels. Okay, next is count the number of is word in a text file. Again, the program says count the number of is, how many is come in a program. So you can, any specific word you can find out the number of times, how many times it's repeating. Open the file, read the file, then split, again split, count, again take a count, then for I in L. Okay, if I is here, it's saying if I is equals to is, then count is and then print it, print down. Fine. Now this is all about the read function, how you will count the characters, character, word, line, or any word, any specific word. Okay, these are the function for read. Next, we will go write data to a file. How you will write data to a file. There are two type of function to write the data to a file. One is write function, another one is write lines function. So write the data to a file syntax. How? See here. Write is your name of the keyword, okay? For writing a file. Here you have to pass string, whatever file you want to write into a text file. This syntax is for your text file and this one is for your binary files. Here you have to write, instead of a string, byte string, number of bytes, okay? Byte string, because it's a binary file. Next is write lines. Write all string in a list L as lines to a file. To write the data to an existing file, you have to use the following mode. W is write, the write will overwrite any existing content. नेट चला गया क्या? Yeah. Okay. Next example, open the file book.txt and append the content to a file. Okay, only 2 minutes are left. After 2 minutes, it will get disconnected. If any one of you having a problem, you can ask me right now. No one? Okay, we will continue then. Open the file book.txt and append content to a file. F out is the name of the variable. Simply open the file. Okay. Out.write. You want that in your file, in your existing file, you want to write this line. Welcome to the world of a programmer. So it will write in book.txt, it will add welcome to the world of programmers. Next, open the file and overwrite the content. It just append the content. And now in next example, we want to overwrite the content. Okay. Open the file. Again, A is here for appending and W is for writing. Okay. Out.write, same thing, and it will overwrite the content on the file. Fine. Next, see the program. Write a program to take a details of book from the user and write the record in a text file. Okay. Now open a file. F out. Open. Give the full path name of the file. Then what you want to write. So mention over here W. N is equals to int. Take an input from the user. how many records you want to write in a file. It will give the range of that. See how many records, 3, 2, 1, whatever user will give. Now apply a for loop over here. For I in a range and print, enter the record, then title, price, record, whatever you want to enter in the file, you can mention over here. Then fout.write record, fout.close. So all these records will be written by the user. See the output. How many records you